Welcome back, everybody. IGN Live at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm Damon. This is Greg.
Hey!
And here now to talk to us about her show, Nikita, is Maggie Q joining us here on the set.
And Eric Goldman from IGN TV. Jeez,
Yeah,
Louise.
Thank you, Maggie.
The biggest Nikita fan in the world.
I'm not in the top 3, I'd like to say, you know.
I knew I loved you.
Thank you, Maggie. Love you too. I am not the only huge Nikita fan, though, and here at San Diego Comic-Con, there are plenty. What's it like? This is a bittersweet time, obviously. We're going into season 4 of Nikita, but it is the final season.
It is.
And yesterday you had your farewell panel.
I did. It was nice. I mean, my dream was 4 years. I've never done television, and when I got the show, it was unfamiliar to me, the television territory, and then. And everybody asked me, how long do you want to do this? How long do you think you can keep this character going? And I said, my dream is 4 years. My worst nightmare for this show would have been, for people to go,
All right. Season 6,
torture,
5.
to beat people up, we get it, and just want it gone. And so a short 6-episode 4th season it's creatively a dream for me.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about going into this final season. As you said, only 6 episodes. That will be obviously very concentrated, Nikita.
Right.
What is the approach here? Like, how are you going to sort of filter that?
Yeah, and it's kind of insanely good because, when you have a 22 episode, you have to build. Mm-hmm. And then you obviously have your episodes that stand out, and you have some filler. And
Freak of the week.
You have a week where no one's going to be home, and then you air that episode. And now we don't have to do that. We get right to it. We jump into the drama, we jump into the action, and we don't need any of the fluff or the filler. We're getting to it. I think we're going to run them as 3 2-hour movie events.
Oh, really?
Nice. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
to end the show. And how cool is that? It's kind of like saying, well, we're going to end the show and then do this big movie that's 3 hours, basically.
Yeah.
Nikita, the show began. She was a rogue agent. Now she found more of a family and a team. And, we saw them coming together more and more. And then at the end of last season, she's gone rogue from her new friend.
Yeah.
So where will we pick up with her now? What's her next move?
It's a true loner who's a loner and then sort of has friends.
She tries it for a while. She's like,
this is in elementary school, she's like, I'm going rogue.
She's like, all this effort thing is just, it's too much with people.
Yeah.
She, I think it's a much sadder sort of time for her because when she was rogue in the beginning, it was that thing of she didn't know friends or allies or family or any of that, and then she built that over the past 3 years, and now she lost it because of meta, obviously a situation she couldn't control, and I think that becomes so much more painful and alienating when we do pick up with her beginning of the 4th. It'll be 3 or 4 months later.
Okay.
You'll see a Nikita that sleeps 2 hours a night. One eye open, most wanted woman in the world, and I don't think we're going to see the hopeful person that we saw before, the one that was motivated.
Well, I'm glad to see the series is ending on a high note.
She's
riding off in the sunset happily ever after.
Exactly.
Hey, it's the dark times before
We
the
like to,
happy.
before that. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
We'll see. I know. I mean, I know Craig, your producer. I know that sometimes he likes to sometimes make things a little difficult for the characters.
Yeah.
Suffice to say that there'll be some tricky times ahead, especially with Amanda still out there.
I mean, yes, definitely. I mean, it's not going to be, and even resolution, which is what I want. I want some happiness for her. I want some resolution. I can't just leave her this dark, bitter, upset. I can't. But at the same time, I think the genius thing about ending a show correctly is that you give people some resolution and some closure, but you leave it open to the imagination in terms of where they've got. You don't solidify what the future is. You just say this person has a chance at it. What may or may not happen next is what may or may not happen next.
Knowing that you're ending and that you're ending the way you want to, right?
Yeah.
On a high. 4 years, it's good, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Does that make you think anything about coming back one day for a movie or to be more or less likely or something along those
TV
lines?
show.
Yeah.
No,
I'm saying like X-Files or something like that. But you know what's happening, right? There hasn't been a season
I know what's
of
happening. I also know that that's a great example because X-Files was a phenomenon.
Yes,
so
right.
that's sort of why they
look
would.
at Goldman. You're a phenomenon too.
Yeah. We're gonna film the movie at Eric's house.
Wow! All right, that's gonna be really exciting. The budget it won't quite look as cool as Division.
Craft service is going to be dynamite.
It's going to be dynamite.
There's gonna be a lot of Star Wars figures.
PB&J's, a mountain of PB&J's.
Burkhoff is gonna like all the Star Wars figures.
I feel like when a show reached that level of success in terms of X-Files. styles or whatnot,
Yeah.
then I think it's a no-brainer that they're like, well, let's do a reunion or a movie. But my show was not that. So I mean, it has its following, but it's not that. So I believe how that's gonna happen. but I mean, I'm a very realistic actress. I don't, you know what I mean? I sort of, I finish something and I'm happy to finish it and move on.
Well, speaking of the fan base, so it's like it was smaller than it should be. I think
Right,
that,
yeah.
but very loyal audience, and you
Totally.
saw how much this show meant to them.
Right.
When you come to something like Comic-Con and get to talk to those fans and
Yeah.
interact with them, what's that like, and what do you think it is about the show?
It's true. I mean, and it's also, them and my peers and people in the business. I mean, honestly, you guys have seen shows and movies that do really, really well, that are really, really crappy. And
Never.
I'll tell you what I really feel later.
Okay.
But for me, it was important that I made a quality show, that my peers in the industry and directors and people that I, looked at it and said, that's a really, really well-made show. I mean, that's my goal. That's all I can do and what I want to do. When the fans recognize it too, it's really kind of shocking because you go, well, we know what production value is, and that's what we care about. But we didn't know that you guys noticed that our sets and our thing and our this, and that we are the same budget as other shows. But yet, what we've done was something very, very different and remarkable for something on that network, and in that genre, in that vein, for their audience.
Speaking of that, you're going into these final 6 episodes, and you have raised the bar very high for action on TV and delivering some things that you don't see on TV week to week.
Yeah.
In these final 6 episodes,
Thanks,
suffice to say, you're welcome. Suffice to say that you're looking to have a couple of moments that'll stand out in that regard.
Definitely. I was never going to do television unless I could bring feature quality action to the small screen. That was I said that to Warner Brothers. I said, listen, this is not, I mean, I don't, I love the character, I love the story, but I need to do this level on television. And they were like, well, we want that. So, they weren't like, no, let's do something crappy.
Get out of here, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy. We want mediocre.
Forgettable.
Yeah, forgettable. But and that was the whole goal. That was the point. Otherwise, what am I bringing to it, right? So, you can guarantee that in the last 6 episodes that I'm going to bring it in a way that you've never seen in the last 3 seasons.
Very cool.
Talk about your loyal fan base. One of them, Stevie, asks,
Stevie.
between Percy and Amanda, who has been the bigger adversary for Nikita?
They're different adversaries, which I like, because you have someone like Percy who was the father no one ever wants to have. The father who says to her in the finale of the first season, I made you, I created you, I'll take you out of this world, you're mine. And that was sort of, it was the boss that she hated. It was the boss who forced her into things she didn't want to do. And so there was that level of hatred. When 2 women hate each other,
Get dirty.
it's emotional. It's like, I'm going to, like the way you want to hurt them back, the way Amanda wants to hurt Nikita is heavy. Percy had a grander plan. He was like, well, I want world domination. You're in my way, and I'm going to get rid of you.
Right.
And Nikita was like, well, all right, well, you're not. So here's the thing. Amanda's like, you hurt me. I'm going to liquefy you, drink you, throw you up, and then run you over. That's what a woman does.
That's day one.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hardcore,
And
Greg.
so,
Ever meet one?
that's male and female adversaries become different because of that. And my journey with Amanda has been so fun because it is an emotional adversarial journey, which is different than Percy.
And
Is there an air date for season 4 yet?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, we
I
know
don't think so.
mid-season.
It's mid-season,
Okay.
yeah. So,
All right,
yeah.
well, congratulations on
Thank you.
concluding the show your way. And we
Thank
look
you.
forward
Oh,
to
that's
She
nice.
did it
Thank you,
her way.
There will be a big
Thanks,
musical
guys.
number at the end.
Yes. I won't be singing.
That'll be awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Boy.